Right Flood is one that has actually released a admitted product in the state, really I think in the last 30 days. Now I personally have not used it. I haven't played with it much, so I can't really tell you much about it, but I know they have, and I think National General is the other one that recently did. Which they call it Beyond Flood. So those are the two markets that have released it. With Right Floods, they had an admitted one, I believe it was through Zurich, but Right Flood has their own now in North Carolina that they're testing here, and they're testing, I think, in Texas and New Jersey. So those are two options that I know of. There may be more as people continue to make this push. And I think it's really a big trial and error right now for them, unadmitted, as they're kind of learning how to address these risks. So flood claims, 5-year versus 20-year. You know, we talked about the 20-year look back with NFIP 2.0. With private, a lot of these carriers do a 5-year look back. So one of the questions you'll see in the applications, have there been any losses in the last 5 years? Some of them will take a property that has had losses as long as they're not within the last 5 years. Some of them will take losses in the last 5 years. Usually, a lot of these carriers, like the one we were talking about earlier, usually has like a $30,000 threshold on claims. So if you know there's been claims, just email the carrier and ask them, hey, will you take this risk? So you kind of learn whether they'll do it or not. Like the company I told you earlier, cat coverage, like they don't do any flood losses at all. They're big on that, but there are some companies out there that will. Now, the 5-year thing is a really big thing right now in Texas and Florida. One reason is Hurricane Harvey. Recently, we passed the 5-year mark. In Columbia, South Carolina, we recently passed the 5-year mark on a big flood, and Jacksonville, Florida as well. And because of that, when they filed those flood claims, now it's been 5 years, there may be more private options available for them. So it's something that is possible for your customers if they've only had one loss in the last 5 years, or monitoring when that loss was.